We always talk about decentering men, decentering husbands, but do we ever talk about decentering friends? I'll tell you why I'm asking that question. I am a girl who loves being friends with girls. I love a good friendship because I feel like for me, a good friendship is your pillar. It's something where when you are facing life, it's something that you can lean on because you know your girl is there. She can always advise you. You can go through things together. And I've always had those type of friendships, and I loved those type of friendships where every small detail, like every achievement that I get, I want to share with my friend. I want to text and be like, oh, Chomi, you know what I did, you know what I got, oh, I found this place where we could go. But I always found myself that I'm a bit too much when it comes to friendships. It's the type of person that I am, and I can't fault God for creating me that way. However, this year I had to reflect on a lot of things. One major thing that made me reflect on friendships and myself in the way that I like move in terms of friendship. I was in the Eastern Cape in East London, and I have a friend. We are 20 years into this friendship. She's been my girl in everything. She's been with me through thick and thin. And then I am of that idea that when I go to East London, I want to see her. She's the first person I tell when I'm in East London. However, this time I went to East London. I was still working, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna let her know that I'm here in East London and I've booked myself a place. And my husband went to the Lalis with my son, so I was staying behind because I was still working, because I don't want to be working where there's a lot of people, and also people won't understand you here, but you're not to be disturbed, you still working. So I was like, you know what, for my peace, I don't have to explain myself to anyone. I'll just, when I clock leave it, then I'll just go to the Lalis, my husband, and then my son can come pick me up later. But I tell my friend, and I'm like, of this idea that in these 3 days that I'm in town, and I book myself at a B&B, that I'm going to see her because we're in the same town. She is in the township. I booked myself in town. So I'm like, we're like 30, no, not even 30, 20, 15 minutes apart. So I'm like, I'm going to see her every time I knock off. So I tell her, her son was with me for the December holidays, and then we went down with him to the Eastern Cape. So on the first day we got there, we met because we had to drop his son. We met, and I told her, oh, Chomi, I'm here, I'm staying at this place, and then I'm going to see you, but I won't see you today because it's the first day I have to unpack and all of that when we're tired. But tomorrow I'm working. At 4 o'clock, I'm going to knock off, and then I'm going to come to see you. I'll probably Uber because I don't have a car with me. She's like, okay, cool, friend. Then it's fine. And then I work the first day, and then around maybe 3:30, sort of wrapping up things, and I'm like, friend, are you at home? She's like, yeah, friend, I'm at home. And then I'm like, okay, at 4 I'm gonna Uber and come to you. She's like, yeah. Then at 4, before I leave, I text her, at an Uber coming to you. And she's like, oh, I'm on my way to town. I'm like, town where? She's like, and then I'm already inside the Uber and I'm going to her house. And then she's like, I'm going to town, I'm going to this mall, and then I need to buy something. Then I'm like, okay. And I thought it would be just basically in and out, but I was disappointed that she chose that time that I was coming to her. But I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, so I went. Then I asked the Uber guy to change the direction. I'm like, okay, could you rather take me to this place? So I went to my aunt's place, sat with my aunt and my cousin. We chatted. I haven't seen them for a long time. Chatted. And then it was around 6. I got there maybe just after 4. Then it was around 6. Then my husband calls me and he's like, babe, I'm in town and I'm by the beach. We're having a braai here. There's a braai area by the beach. We're having a braai here with my brothers. Because I'd said he would pick me up when he's in town. He said he'd come back the next day. So it's like, okay, when you're in town, come pick me up. I'm here. And then he's like, it's getting dark. And in the Eastern Cape, it gets dark quickly. Like around 6, it's already getting dark. So he's like, I'm by the beach. Can I come pick you up? Because I see it's getting dark, and he doesn't know that area that I was in really well. So I was like, okay, babe, you can come pick me up. It's around 6, just before 6. So I was like, I waited for her by my aunt's place, and then she spent a lot of time there in the mall. So I was like, okay, let me go back. Let me go with my husband. When I directed my husband where I was, and then I got him. Just when I got to my husband's car, she texts me and she's like, am I still around? I'm like, no, babe, I just left now. My husband picked me up. I'll see you tomorrow. So she was like, okay. Then I went with my husband. Then the next day, then I worked the next day, and then I worked the next day. Then the internet was really bad in the B&B, so I called and I asked her, do you have like fiber internet in your house? And she's like, yeah, I have. And I was like, okay, I can come and work there, because I'm tired of being alone, because my husband woke up and then he left, and then he said he would pick me up to take me to wherever I want to go if I want to go, because he left me alone because I'm working. But now I realize the internet is so horrible, so I thought, let me rather go work at her place, and then we can have time to catch up. Then my husband called him, and he had to drop me there. And then when he dropped, I called her, and then I said, okay, I'm coming over. And then when I get there, she's brushing her teeth and she's already dressed and whatever. So I asked her sister, where's your sister going? And she's like, no, she's going to town. And I'm like, where are you going? She's like, no, I'm going to town. I need to drop off this. And I'm like, but I told you I'm coming here. And she's like, but you're gonna work. And I'm like, if I wanted to work alone, I'd stay in that B&B, because I would have like bought my own data and work there. I'm like, I thought I was gonna be with you and then work here. She's like, no, I'll come back. And I'm like, why don't you send your sister to do what you wanted to do in town? She's like, no, I need to go there by myself, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, first of all, I keep going to her house because I know, one, she doesn't have a car. Secondly, she's got a baby that's like 11 months old. So I know if you have a baby, you don't really mobile, and you don't want to go be all over the show with the babe. So I was going to her for that reason, because I was like, okay, let me be the one to come down. And then she was like, she's going to town. And then at that time, that's when I knew. I was like, okay. And then I called my husband, because he had already gone. Called my husband, baby, can you please turn around? And then he turned around. And then I was like, okay, do you want a lift? We're going to town. Then she was like, okay, yeah, got a lift with us. And I asked her, where should we drop you? And then I found a cafe in town where I was going to work. And then I decided with my husband, I was like, baby, don't even leave me. I'm going to check out tonight, because I was going to stay an extra night in the hotel and at the B&B, and already I had booked like this place that we were going to go take the children, but she was also undecided about that. So I was like, you know what, it's okay, maybe I'm too much. That's how I felt. I was like, maybe I'm too much, maybe I'm coming on too strong. But in my mind, that's the type of relationship we had. I used to stay at her house for a couple of days if I was in East London, you know, that type of thing. So I was like, you know what, I think maybe she's over that season. Let me just go to my life, because I knew if I went to the Lalies, I won't be able to see her again, because there's so much going on there. But I wanted to see her before I could. So I was like, you know what, baby, I'm gonna check out, let me work. Sure, my husband left me at some cafe. I worked there until 4, and then I knocked off, and then I asked my husband and his friend to come pack with me my stuff in the B&B. We packed the stuff. So that's when I reflected and I asked myself so many questions. I was like, okay, maybe I'm coming on too strong. Maybe I made this relationship sort of a part of my identity, and I've made it the center of my identity, because she was the only friend I had, and I'm the type of person that would be friends with one person at a time. So I was like, okay. And I saw her going out with other people, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm not that important in her life anymore to make time or to make plans, you know. So I was like, you know what, let me look at myself. Maybe it's me. And I looked at myself, and I look at other friendships that I have, that I'm always this one that's always reaching out to people, calling first, texting first, inviting people over, inviting people to events, inviting to people to parties, to brides, to churches, to events. I'm always the one doing that. And then I looked, if I keep quiet, will there be conversation? No, there isn't conversation if I keep quiet. If I keep quiet, I won't be invited somewhere. But I see people going out with other people, not with me, but they don't think to tell me or to invite me to those type of person, to those type of places. And there's this one friend, I discussed this with her, and I told her that this year I'm not inviting anyone to my house or to a place where I'm going. I'm just gonna go. If you guys don't make plans that include me, then I guess that's how things are going to be. And as soon as I stopped inviting people, and I'm not mad, I wasn't mad, I was just reflecting, and I was just taking time out by myself. And I told myself that I would go to solo dates, spa dates, I would go to a cafe, order some muffins, drink coffee, drink matcha, read a book, be by myself and be happy. I told myself, but I kid you not, that did not happen. I did not invite anyone, but my year started off on a high note. I was getting invites left, right, and center from the people that, like, friends of mine or people that I knew maybe from gym or wherever. But I was getting invites to a point where I was like, no, I'm tired. And the end of March, I was like, I'm so tired of getting these invitations, and I'm so tired of always being out every weekend. Like, I had things to do every weekend. I was tired, but I kid you not, but the day I decided, you know what, let me take a step back, is the day where I got everything that I wanted in abundance. Because I did want to be invited to places, I did want to be included. So, excuse me, I think the decision I made to decenter the friendships, or to decenter myself in people's lives, turned out so well. Now I have, like, my calendar is always full, and I have to reject some because I'm like, oh, I'm spending a lot of time outside every weekend. I'm not here with my family. Sometimes I need to, like, make a weekend family centered, because I want to spend time with my husband, I want to spend time with my child, because I'm not able to do that during the week, because it's always like we wake up, we get dressed, we go to work, and you come back, you go to gym, you cook, and you sleep. It's always in a rush. But on weekends we can take it slow. So yeah, man, tell me what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one. Love you lots.